Howdy, folks, and welcome back to Are We There Yet? A brand new season kicks off. I've had to make a list of the things to run through. Professionalism, this is a list, and we've got a lot to get through. We're on the finances screen, so we're actually in the black. 91k. We sold quite a lot of season tickets. You can see the gate receipts. 36,000 season tickets. In fact, let's dive in. And there we go. Season tickets, 249,000, so 250,000, as opposed to just 62,000 last year. So that is significant improvement. So obviously some of the financial packages as well, the sponsorship deals that we're pulling in, or double already. So, and gate receipts will be up because we've already taken 121,000 compared to the 328,000 in the whole of last season. Some of that will be due to cup football, which I'll explain in just a moment. Personally, if we take a quick look, you can see we're studying now for Continental B. We got the Continental C over the summer, pretty much as the season ended. That ticked through, and because we got 144,000 for our final league position, that put us into the black and allowed me to immediately spend some of the money on a coaching course. So we're spending that now, 6 months on a Continental B. Profile I go up, and you can already see reputation wise up to 40%. Stars, 2 stars, decent. I don't mind decent, so that's good. 200 games played now, 52% win percentage. We're improving as we go. Arsene Wenger obviously hates me. I mean, he's no judge of character, is he? I mean, the man once signed Francis Jeffers, so over the close season, we were linked with a few jobs. There's a few jobs that I wasn't interested in. Wraith, who we beat in the Petrofac Training Cup final. We were also linked with Blackburn and Bury, which both teams had been relegated that said season. Blackburn down to League 1 and Bury on their way down to League 2. I wasn't interested in applying because both clubs had an insecure financial footing, according to the club screen. Well, yes, managing Blackburn Rovers or Bury is probably a step up in terms of the quality of the players that we have. It didn't really feel like it would be an improvement. It felt like I'd be firefighting from the off, and a relegated side, financial constraints. At least I've got a team on the up at this point, and a bit of history and a bit of cash in the bank, effectively. Not finances, but credit in the bank, if you like. So if everything goes arse over head, at least I've got that to fall back on. They'll remember me as the manager that got them up in the first place. So that's why we've not really pursued anything in terms of leaving. And that leads us on to signings, really. What work have we done? Obviously, we've been promoted to the Championship. You can see their transfer budget remained 81k. Quite a lot in the wage bill. 12k a week. Obviously, not a lot if you're managing in England, but a lot of money if you're managing at this level when your players aren't really earning more than £200-300 a week. But we haven't really spent it. You can see the only players we bought in are loans and frees. We bought in and no players from Celtic this year, which is interesting. We brought in James Wallace, striker from Rangers. I think he's quite good. I think he'll pretty much be backup to the other strikers. Jack McKenzie, left back, he's signed us for us on a free transfer. Never really had any kind of football. You can see there just the 2 appearances, and we've given him one of them, but an assist in his first appearance for us. Otherwise played for Falkirk. Aaron Dunsmore. Now, Dunsmore, I like this boy. I think he's a good player. He's got a lot of football under his belt in the League 1 and the Championship. Decent performances as well. Never really disgraced himself. Had a bit of a poor spell in the Championship, but we'll put that down to the fact that East Fife were relegated. So he's playing in a poor team. He's already done okay for us. You can see there 6 appearances overall, 7.75. 2 assists as well, so a decent start for him. Stephen Miller is another left back, and he's actually our first choice left back at the moment. He's quite a good player on loan from Dundee, youngster, but a good one. I think he'll offer a good attacking threat down the left side. And then a lone player, another striker. This is Drew McCreath from Hearts, the Englishman. You can see they're very quick, very physically, very good. Decent striker, I think. Manchester United trainee. Signed, left them for Hearts on a free, and he's been loaned out to us. Already a goal and an assist in his first game. Play of the match as well. And overall, 6 appearances, 4 goals, and 8 assists for Drew. So he seems to be a good option for us. He scored a wonderful free kick as well. So, he's got 12, so why not? So those are the signings. The only player out really is Ryan Lametti. He's gone out there. Let's just have a look at the free transfers there, if we may. Players that left the club. I'm not really seeing them. I don't know why it says Sandy McCluskey went out on a free to Hibs. Did we lose him on a free? We did. I thought we got money for the boy. It wasn't him, was it? It was Sean Wilson. I don't even know my own club. So there we go. Let's have a look. Release players. That's what we want. So release players who we didn't retain: Scott Ferguson, Paul McLean, Sean Burns, Scott Linton, Murray Loudon, Przemysław Datnovitz and Graham Murray. Never really played in the first team, many of those players. I think Graham Murray was the best one of the players we let go. He's a decent midfielder, but you can see he's during Wraith that he's played in the under-20s. So could have retained him, but realistically, I don't think he's ever really going to be good enough, and happy days. Pre-season wise, you'll obviously now see our start. We've played a few of the same teams in our league, actually. We've played Dunfermline, who we managed to 2-2 draw with, unbeaten in pre-season in the actual friendlies as well. Dumbarton, who were relegated to League One last year, we beat them 2-1. Nice attendance, 500, but a huge attendance against the Palace under-23s, including Ronaldo Vieira of Leeds. We've got a huge attendance of 1,300 and one run out 2 real winners. Easy game. Then a 5-1 win over Brechin, or Brechin, I should say, and it sort of started to set the tone for us. And then we went into League Cup duties. Now, over the years, we've played in a lot of, obviously, 4 or 5 now League Cup group campaigns, and not one we've been able to actually qualify from. But this time, fortunately, we were able to actually win. And why was that? Well, we managed to beat Berwick Rangers, who are in League 2, 5-0. Comfortable victory for us there. John Smith with an early hat-trick. Drew McCreath on his effective debut, I suppose, and Russ Dingwall with the goals. Then we had to play Hamilton. This is the side that was relegated from the Premier League to the Championship this year, so they were good tests for us, and they went 2-0 ahead. We were a good team, though. A good performance it was. You can see there, really, it was an even game, but we had the better of it in terms of chances. 21 shots to 11, and we ended up pulling it back in the last minute through Ross Dingwall. He scored 2, and we managed to secure a penalty shootout win in sudden death. So that was good. And then another 5-0 win. So you can see when we win, we seem to win handsomely. 5-0 again away from home. John Smith, McCreath, Dingwall and McBride, who came on as a sub, scored 2 goals late on. And that really put us in the driving seat. We just needed to beat Dunfermline, who are also a Championship side. We beat them 4-0. John Smith with all the goals. It was probably a tighter game than it might seem on paper, 4-0. You can see there they did have plenty of shots, but really, we hit 10 on target. We probably should have scored more, but that's what it is. And then we went into in the Championship, our first game at this level, away at Falkirk, and we took we just ran away with it, really. Again, it was probably a tight game. You can see they actually had the better of the chances in terms of shots created, but we were the better team. I think our chances were more cutting edge. We had a lot more cutting edge. It was Drew McCreath, Dingwall and Fleck, with McBride again off the bench to score and give us a 4-1 win. Tom Aldred with the consolations, it turned out. Slightly before that game, though, we'd already been drawn against Falkirk away again in the Cup. So that was the second round, which we managed to win and qualify for the quarter-final, who will play one of Aberdeen or Hamilton. Hopefully it's Aberdeen. We'll be in a away tie. If it's Aberdeen, we should hopefully get a good boost of cash from that tie. Rangers and Celtic are still in, as far as I know, so they're an option if we do manage to somehow sneak past Aberdeen. I think we can beat Hamilton. Who knows? But we managed to get it. We went 2-0 down as well, quite early, inside 12 minutes. McCausland and Bowden. But it was John Smith, Drew McCreath, and Robbie Fleck with the goals. Robbie Fleck's goal was a superb free kick, deflected in off the crossbar. And I can't really complain as to how it's gone. Championship-wise, obviously that puts us top of the table after one game, which is fantastic, given we are pre-season favourites for relegation. You can see they're 100-1 for promotion, or for rather claiming the title for champions. But also we were given a news item 1 to 5 favourites for relegation. I don't like those odds. I say pish posh. We are better than that, and I think we've got a good team, all being well. So here we go then. So it's a big day for us. First home game against the Championship opposition. It's going to be a tough game. Their best player, Tony Watt, is out injured. You probably know him. We're starting to get to a level where we might actually see some players that I'm not, I don't follow Scottish football. Maybe you do, so you do recognise most of the players. I don't particularly follow Scottish football, apart from Clyde, obviously. but I do recognise some of these players. I even recognise, I think, James Keating's, just from having overheard his name a few times. I mean, he's quite a good player, isn't he? He's comfortably better than anything we've got, but there we go. We did try and sign, actually, just before we go into this, Sandy McCluskey back on loan, but he chose to instead to join Partick. We were trying to do a sneaky 2-year loan deal for Sandy, but he wasn't having any of it. It was just annoying that, unfortunately, Partick are a Premier League side, and that's the team he wanted to join, so good luck to him. He's in the Premier League. Right, so that's probably the team we're going to face, or we're going to name. I think what we'll do is we will take Miller off the bench and put Wallace on there just in case, because we only play 2 centre-mids, but we do play 3 strikers, so the likelihood is that we'll need an extra one. Yeah, come on, I'm quite nervous now. First Championship home game. Hope it doesn't all fall flat. I hesitated to do the Falkirk away game because I thought we'd lose, and it turned out that we won the game, but never mind. I'll see you pitchside in just a minute at the Broadwood. So there are your teams then. We're unchanged, really. It's Blair Curry has started pretty much every game in goal for us since we took charge, and that seems a long time ago. We've kept faith with the back line of McKendry, Hamilton and Neil. Dunsmore, the right back, or right wing back. You see we've actually got squad numbers now. Miller on the left side, MacArthur, Fleck continuing in the middle, Dingwall, Smith and McCreath up front. For them, it's a 4-4-2, very conventional. Hopefully we've got enough to take them. We haven't got any regens or Nugents, I should say, so fingers crossed we have enough to take them today. Just tell the lads that we expect and have faith in their abilities, as we always like to do. And let's go, boys. Let's see if we can extend this dream start. We need to get to 40 points. Survival here is the minimum that we want. The board are happy to accept. That's not a bad start. Oh, just over the bar. Happy to accept a battle against relegation. That's basically what the players were happy with as well. They didn't think we're good enough to stay up, but they're happy to try, obviously. I should hope they're going to try. And here we go then, 10 minutes in, Dunsmore takes a throw, gives it to, it ends up with Smith. He's up front and he scores again, Johnny Smith with the goal, 10 minutes or so into the game. Gives Clyde a 1-goal lead, a 1-0 lead at the Broadwood. Be interesting to see how much how attendances have gone up. Last season we sold something like 300 season tickets. This season, I showed you the finances, but I didn't give you the numbers. We sold over 900. So the Clyde faithful definitely getting on board with this, as Smith slots past the goalkeeper there and gives us an early lead over Morton. Time ticks on now. Nothing's happened since we scored, but I'm just... my theory is we're not as good as any of the teams in this league. That is no doubt. But what we are is we're in form, and I think you see with Leicester when they won the title, the Premier League, in a few years ago now. It was just that they just had a patch of about a year and a half. Oh, that's just off the crossbar, palmed onto the crossbar. They just had a patch where they were in form. Maybe not the best team in terms of quality overall, but they were just the informed team. As Miller, superb tackle there. Fleck, that's a great ball down that left side. McCreath straight onto it. This is where he gets his assist. It's a delicious ball in, and John Smith, we've scored at the perfect times early in the first half, right on the stroke of half time, and a 2-goal lead opens up at the Broadwood. Morton all over the place, and we have 6 points as it stands out of the 40 that we want. 34 to go. We're just going to keep crossing them off to get to that magic 40 and see where we are. I'm hoping that this league is not too dissimilar to League 2 in terms of quality, because that way we might actually be able to go up. Keep it nowhere as Smith heads home, and makes it a far easier team talk at half time. That is half time then, so 2-0 to the good. We'll just tell them it can run away, can't it? So they've had a poor first half. You imagine their manager, head coach is in that changing room giving them a bit of a mind Bassett. So we've got to watch out for that as they kick off this second half, pushing right to left as we see it. As Biabi, hopefully this is just a kick-off highlight. Hamilton goes through the back of his man, looks like just a trip. Seems a little bit harsh to book him for that if you are going to book him, ref. No, he's not going to, just a word. Good lad. And corner now, just inside. What's going on? McKendry crosses. Oh, are we getting the ball? McCreath. It's gone down a bit of a blind alley. Cross deep. Dingwall couldn't quite get there. Neil. He's got Dunsmore. That's a bit of a hopeful ball, but it's worked out nicely. Dingwall's cross. McCreath. And it's 3-0. Early first half, late first half, early second half. This is how you write a textbook on when to score goals. I think we've done this before. Neil there. I mean, it was the way we reset after the corner that's the most pleasing thing. I said that, well, the most pleasing thing is a 3-goal lead, but the next most pleasing thing is how you... I mean, that's a great touch from Russ. As he crosses the ball, it's headed in by McCreath, just got up above his marker, and lords it over the anguished Morton players as we take a 3-goal lead. Comfortable, renowned cruise control, and suddenly those odds of 100 to 1 for relegation seem ridiculous. And Fleck now. Deep ball, Dingwall, 4-0. What a start to this campaign. And maybe, just maybe, we could make the Premier League with Clyde. And, well, if we manage that, we should be knocking on the door for some pretty decent jobs. Maybe looking at English Championship level. You know, I did have an application in for Hull, which I forgot about. And I didn't even get shortlisted. That's a terrific finish from Dingwall. You've got to say, Russ Dingwall there, terrific goal. But yeah, I wasn't even shortlisted, which I'm not going to say it didn't hurt, because I went to university in Hull, so it would have been a comeback, but it wasn't to be. Flex corner, Neil just over the crossbar. 20 minutes to play. I think we probably make some changes and bring on some youth. Let's see what we can do. We'll bring on Mackenzie for Miller, and we'll take off Flecky Boy for George Clark. I don't know if you will have seen George Clark, because he's a youngster who came through the academy last season, so he was part of the youth intake last season, so you might not have seen him because that was when I did a lot of games off camera to race through last season. So we'll get him on now. George Clark, we've got big hopes for him. He's our hot prospect, and we gave him a few games towards the end of the season. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'll have seen those results. I said after the cup game I want to win every game, and we won every game. So that's how you do it, boys. We keep on in good form as we last 10 minutes, 4 goals to the good. Where's the ball? Clark's free kick. Dingwall under it, doesn't win it. Back to Clark. It's pinballed and it counts. I thought that might have been offside, but it's John Smith's hat trick. He's alert to the possibility of the rebound, and he duly obliges by slotting it in to give Clyde a 5-goal lead on their debut. I forgot to check the attendance. You can see it top left of your screen there. 2,300, boosted by 500 plus travelling Morton fans. If they haven't already set off, I mean, it's 3 ping balls, but John Smith, side foot volley into that top corner. Keeper no chance. Oh, I'm stunned. Absolutely stunned. You can see as well, the performance-wise, Morton have offered very little, and we've restrained them to nothing. An established side, just 3 shots, 0 on target, and that should be it. As Clark gives it to McCreath, who I think is going to be a good player for us. Manchester United academy player. I mean, that's always a sign of some quality, at least. Only 2 players interested in that, but that is simply superb and a delight. It makes me really happy to see us racing forward like this. 6 points on the board. That's a huge, great start. Even if we have patchy spells, I think we'll win enough home games. And you can see there, I mean, we've scored, apart from against Hamilton, who are clearly a cut above. You know, they're a good team. Key player Giannis Skondaris. I mean, Jesus, he's a good player. He's beyond. If you combine all our players, he's probably got better stats on his own. So that's the kind of player that we've got to compete against and hopefully take apart. And we've got them next. So, I don't know. That's the kind of quality. And again, it's only one team goes up, isn't it? So it's a difficult ask to beat the playoffs. Fantastic. Well, as I say, do pop a like on there. You don't get 5-0 and unbeaten starts in the Championship when you come up with a 100 to 1 shot. But that's what we've managed to do. Subscribe if you haven't already. There'll be far more Clyde and Journey action coming very soon. I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.